Hello, Mr. Aylor's 5th period U.S. History class. Today we will be discussing the role the United States should play in defending our world's democracies. The United States took steps to fight communism such as the Cuban Missile Crisis, Bay of Pigs invasion, nuclear test ban treaty, and flexible response. Through these actions, the U.S. defended democracies around the world.
Flexible response was instituted during JFK's administration. The idea was that the U.S. would build up the nuclear arsenal while building up the military. The goal was to be able to respond to foreign entanglements by any means necessary. JFK was willing to defeat the Soviet Union even if it meant getting in a nuclear war. JFK was president during the beginning of the Vietnam War, where we sent soldiers to Vietnam in order to stop the spread of communism.
In 1959, Fidel Castro overthrew the dictator Fulgencio Batista. He was a corrupt and repressive dictator. However, he was pro-American. When Castro took power, he took steps to remove American influence on the island. He nationalized all American companies in Cuba, and the USA responded by stopping imports of Cuban sugar and all aid to Cuba. In April 1961, the U.S. launched the Bay of Pigs invasion. 14,000 CIA-backed Cuban exiles launched an invasion on the south coast of Cuba. JFK believed that it was important to not allow Cuba to take over by communists, while at the same time not allowing World War III to occur. However, the invasion failed massively. Cuba knew that the attack was coming, and they were able to defend themselves. Castro's troops had pinned the invaders on the beach, and the exiles surrendered after less than a day of fighting. 114 were killed, and over 1,100 were taken prisoner.
The climax of the Cold War came in October of 1962 when the United States and the Soviet Union came very close to getting into a nuclear war. Following the failure of the Bay of Pigs invasion, Fidel Castro made an alliance with the Soviet Union and they began to install nuclear missiles in Cuba. The Soviet Union felt threatened by the amount of nuclear power that the United States had in Italy and Turkey. Therefore, they put missiles in Cuba because it was only 90 miles off the coast of the United States. The United States set up a naval blockade, proving that they would use force if necessary. The Cuban Missile Crisis ended when both sides agreed to find a common ground. The United States agreed not to invade Cuba and to withdraw missiles from Turkey. The Soviet Union agreed to remove the missiles from Cuba. The following year, a direct hotline communication link was installed between Washington and Moscow to help defuse similar situations.
The nuclear test ban treaty brought mutually assured destruction to light. The idea of mutually assured destruction is that two countries with a lot of nuclear power can destroy each other entirely. On August 5, 1963, representatives of the United States, Soviet Union, and Great Britain signed the Nuclear Test Ban Treaty that stated that nuclear weapons in the ocean, atmosphere, and outer space are prohibited. This was made in response to the destruction nearly occurred between the United States and the Soviet Union during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
The Cold War was a battle between communism and democracy. The United States joined NATO along with other democracies around the world to help protect each other from communism. The reason that the United States got involved with the Soviet Union and Cuba through the Bay of Pigs invasion and the Cuban Missile Crisis was because JFK believed that they were a threat to democracy. The United States was able to keep communism under control through their actions during the Cold War.
The Western world has a common dedication to keep free people from red domination. Maybe you can vote, boy, but man your battle stations, or there'll be no need for voting in future generations. So over and over again, you keep saying it's the end, but I say you're wrong. We're just on the dawn of correction. There are buttons to push into